Hey guys, welcome back to the DrCliffAuD vlog. This is vlog number 215. And if you guys saw last week's vlog, our place had flooded and I wanted to give you guys a look at what things are looking like. You know that we had a flood and it's been about 2 weeks since that flood. So I wanted to do a little bit of a walkthrough to kind of show you guys what the space is like right now. And, you know, I'm kind of in here and it actually seems like we're going through construction just like we did when we first built the place 3 years ago. I'm actually standing in the break room area right outside of the workspace for our audiology assistant. And that is actually the sink and countertop for the break space that I'm in, which I'm going to turn around, and that's where it used to be. We had it pulled out and you can see that there is no flooring on the floor anymore. It's just concrete. They basically had to remove all the flooring inside of the space. The good news is that they were able to save the countertop, at least on the top of the cabinets for the sink area for the kitchen, because they're gonna have to pull the countertop off of those cabinets because we have to get all new cabinets. If one cabinet is completely damaged inside of the space, that basically means that insurance has to replace everything, unless you can find the exact type of cabinet that was damaged. But the cabinets that we have here, we have them in an espresso color, and they no longer make the espresso color for that cabinet style. So basically, we have to get all new cabinets in the entire place. There is a little bit of good news on that though. We actually found out that the same manufacturer of these cabinets, it's only a 2-week turnaround time. So we can actually get the cabinets pretty quickly. The problem is that we have to pick a completely different color, and we're essentially having to go with a gray color. And not super excited about that because we already have a lot of gray accents inside of the space, and the flooring is typically gray, which we have to pick out completely new flooring anyway. So there's just gonna be more gray in here instead of having the nice offset of the espresso. But you know what? The other option is to wait 6 weeks for espresso cabinets to come in from a different manufacturer, and we just don't wanna wait that long. That would be horrible because of how we'd have to delay patient appointments for even longer than we already have. So nevertheless, let me just kind of walk you through the space, let you see what it's looking like, and I have some interesting updates here at the end for you. So let me flip the camera. All right, there you go. So that is our space inside of the work area. You have to do flooring, cabinets, countertop, all of that inside of here. You can see that they actually had to cut through the bottom 2 feet of the drywall there. Not sure, I guess they didn't have to do it over here, but all of the baseboards are gonna come out. Those are getting replaced, and we already picked out new flooring for the space. It's similar to our other flooring, but nevertheless, if we kind of go through the hallway, you can see that these rooms in the back corner, they were spared, like you guys know already, but they had to remove all of that flooring, and you can see all that drywall has to get repaired. Fortunately, this room still fine. I was interested to see if they had to remove some carpeting, and I do not see any carpeting having been removed as of this point, but I would be surprised if they didn't end up removing that carpeting. But that being said, they did not require that we pick out new carpet colors and things like that, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. That right there, that is our neighbor's unit over there that you could crawl into if you wanted to. Don't know why you'd want to do that, and plus that'd be illegal, so we don't want to do anything illegal. And let me shut that door because I don't know construction crew if they're going to want that open or shut. You can see that my room is essentially unaffected. That's where they're going to be putting some different supplies and all of that, I presume. This room, I think, again, was also okay. Oh, nope, they had to do the bottom drywall, cut that out. And bathrooms, let's see what they did here. It's good news they didn't have to knock out that tile because that would have been a pain. So the tile is still there, but they did have to cut out, obviously, the bottoms there. Pretty much the same thing in the women's restroom, I believe. Yep, same thing in here. So this place is gonna be a mess for a while. I'm hoping that they can get this fixed sooner rather than later. So we are in Dr. Balderas' room. This was the room that was affected the most, but the cabinets that they pulled out from the manager's office, Let's see, yeah, you can see that there is definitely water damage on those. Yeah, things just kind of, just the wood soaked up that water and expanded and caused issues. So that all had to get pulled out. But again, there, it looks like they were able to save the countertop there, and hopefully we get to continue to save that. Oh, that's fun. There's my YouTube play button from the front area anyway. So we're done in here. Let me do a quick little walk over here. This is actually the scariest part of everything, which is they are going to try to replace the cabinets down here. We've already picked out the new cabinets and the colors, like I mentioned already. And basically they're going to have to see if they can raise the countertops to put in the new cabinets and lower them without breaking them. And our insurance adjuster said that it is a 4% chance that they're able to do that, which means if they crack them and break them, the 96% chance that they will, and we'll have to order new countertops, but we could essentially wait until those countertops come in before we have to replace them. We could just work with a few, whatever cracks on there if we had to. And then of course the manager's office, kind of sad, but like that whole thing has to go. All of that has to go and replaced. But you know, get a chance to look and see how the electrical's coming along. That's looking good. But yeah, it's just a lot of work to do. And fortunately, we have a very good general contractor. Chuck is unbelievable. Oh, I just noticed that the glass doors were removed there. No glass there because with the swelling of the drywall, it was causing issues with the doors. So they pulled those out so they didn't break them because those are thousands of dollars. But nevertheless, we have a really good general contractor who can help us rebuild this back out because he was the one who actually built it the first time. So he already knows what he's doing. And he knows exactly what our expectations are, what we like. He's a very nice guy. I'm not going to tell you anything more about him because he's my guy, okay? You can't have him, and I don't want him to be delayed on this project because you guys want to use him for your own construction projects if you happen to live in the Valley and be watching this video. But no, seriously, if you want his name and contact info, if you need construction done, happy to give that out because he and his whole team is phenomenal. With that said, because of all of this stuff going on, we actually had a little bit of a need to look at some other real estate spots because we don't know how long we're going to have the spot across the way from us. And in that entire process, we identified that maybe we could expand a little bit. So we've actually had a couple of colleagues in town, potential partners in projects and stuff like that, that we may be able to get an additional commercial space. In fact, one of those commercial spaces that we're considering is the temporary space that we're in right now. It's about 2,000 square feet. We could technically purchase that, and then as soon as we're done rehabbing this place, we could go in there, rip it down to the studs, and rebuild it up as another clinic. So that's kind of interesting option. There's also a space out in Scottsdale that we were considering doing the same thing for because we have a couple other projects that we're working on, and of course, you know, with the clinic here, Applied Hearing Solutions, growing so much from the high demand of extremely high quality audiologic care, we may have the opportunity to expand Applied Hearing Solutions to more places in the Valley. Not really something I wanted to do initially, but you know, when you have such a high demand of your services, it's hard not to be like, you know what, we could serve more people. Like the people want to be served, but we just don't have the space for everybody on occasion. So, or they have to wait longer, right, for services or initial appointments and all of that. So, you know, it might end up working out in our favor, us, you know, taking a look at some additional real estate. Of course, you guys know me. I'm going to be vlogging about that stuff. Of course, especially if we end up purchasing a new space, I can put up a walkthrough as well as walk you guys through the construction process, which I am now familiar with. Unfortunately, an additional time here with the whole renovation of this place. So a lot of experience building in the commercial real estate sector. super glad I don't have to worry about this in the residential world, so wish me luck. Hopefully I get home and there's no flood inside the house. But nevertheless, thanks for hanging out with me here this Sunday morning. It is unfortunate turn of events here, but you know, considering that everything's moving right along, it's hard for me to complain so much. But if you guys like this, make sure that you hit that like button. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button as well. And as always, I will see you next week.